Hi there, I'm Brian Renner, and I played Jonathan. For those of you who maybe haven't seen the movie, I'm sure you've seen the movie. But anyway, I have been acting now for a number of years. I believe I started in theater in '98. Started in film in 2002, so I guess that makes it 7 years now. Look at my watch for that. I've since then I've been doing I've done a number of independent features, some pretty decent sized parts, and some main stuff, lead stuff, and different things. Generally, I tell people I've done big stuff and small stuff and small parts and big stuff, and that's kind of the way it goes until you get to that moment, that big moment that we all hope to get sometime, and some of us already have. Um, as far as this project, I really liked the movie from the first time I read it. I thought, man, that's got a good story there. It's a message that we've all probably seen messages like this before, but it's told in a very realistic way. I felt like it was very kind of gritty, kind of a dark, kind of a true. It's not that bright sunshine. Oh, things are going to be great kind of film. And like Jonathan, when I read the part of Jonathan, it was one of those parts that just clicked. Whenever when you read something, you just understand that person really well from the first few pages into something, and that's kind of the way I was with Jonathan. Um, so whenever Jose asked me, he emailed me over and he said, "Here's the script. When you get a chance to read it, let me know what you think." And I did. I said I like it, and he said, "Do you still want to play the part?" And I said, "Yeah, for sure." Because that's it's one of those parts that granted, he's not Jonathan's not a character any of us want to be in life, um, but he's a really awesome character for an actor. He's a great character that I really wanted to do as an actor because there's so much to him. Um, and so yeah, I definitely, whenever I got the opportunity to do that, and Jose agreed with me, felt like I would be right for the part, and said, here we go, let's do it then. Working on this film was definitely an interesting experience. I got to work with some really good people. But as you probably know, we shot this thing over a course of time. They're just shooting it on the weekends, evenings, whenever people had a little bit of time. Because let's face it, everyone in this film, we have regular jobs. And so for anyone out there who's watching this, if you're looking to keep me from having to have a regular job, okay, I'm open to that. But until then, we all have regular jobs. We go work, and then when we got a little bit of time, we'll come film this. And it's fun doing it that way. Just in a lot of ways, um, it keeps things from getting it keeps you from getting working. On some of the films that you work on, you're working 12-hour days, 15-hour days, back to back. You get a few hours of sleep here, and you go do it again. It can get very grueling, very tiresome. And this one, when you do them like this, then you definitely don't get that. So they all got different things about them, but ours, when we did this, it was fun. It was definitely very fun. Um, it was it was one of the experience anyway with this is some of the actors in here haven't really done much before, and so get to actually work with some people that kind of get to help along, and get to do some behind the scenes kind of work with some of the actors to kind of like, I guess, kind of bring the whole scene together, with someone who maybe needs a little bit of help with things. So, and that's fun. That's always a fun experience. I like to teach people. I like to work with people. Not that I'm probably maybe not be the best teacher, best person to teach, but there are people who are new. I got a few things I can show them anyway. So, but it was good. That was really neat. It was really neat to work on. Low budget, not a lot of resources, short little bits and pieces here that we can film and hammer out a whole full length feature. In this film, I didn't really work with. It's kind of a small cast anyway, and so there wasn't, and then it's definitely a small crew. So there weren't a lot of people involved, to work with. But the main people that I did work with were, of course, Jose, director. I did work with him, and Jose is one of those guys. He's got the vision. Of course, he wrote the thing. He knows what's going on, and it was interesting working with him on this one because he wrote it, and he also is directing it. he knows what's going on, but he didn't necessarily write it all out in the script. And so it was interesting because we'd come in for the day to shoot something, and I could talk to him and say, hey, Jose, what did you have in mind here? I was kind of thinking something along this lines because it wasn't necessarily written in the script, and it was good to work with him because he's very open to that kind of thing, and he and I would usually get kind of a response similar to, well, we can try that. And then we'd try that. And then he'd be like, but now let's try it kind of like this. I was kind of thinking maybe this. And so we would do a couple of them, and we'll see how it ends up in the edit. So it was good working with Jose. Definitely. He's definitely a visionary kind of director and writer there. Melanie, played by Melissa, um, she's really, as far as the other actors or actresses in the film, I spent most of the time, working with her, and it was good because she's kind of got this. She just also kind of seemed to be that person that just kind of clicked with her character. You could just kind of tell that when she read it, probably she didn't seem to have to put a lot of research or time into figuring out who the character is, because she kind of embodies certain elements of the character, certain major elements, and so it was good working with her. She's a very, very, very nice person, and very just a very very fun person to be around. She's just a good girl. Um, I did actually have one scene there with Rennie Cohen. I hope I pronounced her last name right. I know I pronounced her first name right. We all call her Rennie. Um, where she was in, she played my wife in the film, and Rennie she is an experienced actor. She's an experienced director, is her big thing, I guess. And it was good working with her. We had a small little scene there, but it was fun. And she definitely is. She's an experienced film person, so, and you can tell. So yeah, as an actor in the film, obviously being part of this, we certainly hope that the message gets across. And I do believe that after seeing the film, I think people will understand that that God has a purpose, and He's not a bystander just waiting to see how things play out. Um, He's got something in mind, and even if we Jonathan pretty much gave up on him having any kind of, he was angry with him. He did, he felt like God did something to him that he shouldn't have, and didn't realize that he did that for a reason. And he let that kind of thing happen for a reason, and he knew that Jonathan would eventually come back around. Jonathan didn't figure he didn't think that he did it in the right way, but let's face it, we all think we know best, but when it really comes down to it, the ultimate power knows best.